What is high ticket sales and what is a closer and how does it all come together? How do you get paid? How do you get on a job? All of those questions. Let's dive in. So first of all, what is high ticket sales? It has absolutely nothing to do with tickets and everything to do with the price of the sale. So high ticket, all that means is that it's just a high price. Anything to do with, I don't know, anything 4,000 USD up, this is typically high ticket. And this can go all the way up to like 1,000 USD, by the way. This isn't a ballpark figure. It can go 100,000 USD plus. So anything that is of high value and you're selling for thousands of dollars is typically high ticket. Now that that's out the way, who is selling anything for that amount of money? So you're thinking of consultants, potentially agency owners, anyone who's selling a course or a program or coaching of some kind. And this can be B2C or B2B. Now, what's the difference? B2C is simply to the customer. So you're selling something to a customer, the person, the human. And B2B, you are selling to the business. So if you hear those two terms a lot in sales, that's what that means. So some examples of B2C, someone who wants to learn fitness, nothing to do with business. Someone who wants to have a relationship coach, nothing to do with business. Someone who wants to understand nutrition. Anything that they are learning something or they're getting a life-changing result that has nothing to do with fitness, with business, typically to do with like health and relationships, normally is here. But you can have a B2C program on anything. Like literally like how to plant, how to grow a tree, how to learn karate in less than 2 weeks. Whatever the hell it is, this is purely what it is to the customer. Now, B2B is to the business owners. So this could be anything from, like me, I teach sales online. Other people might teach marketing. Other people, many people teach AI and personal branding and content coaching. And you probably see many of these people online. So this would be like an example of B2B, for example. Obviously, you can do content for just the customer and therefore it's B2C and it's a bit more of like a business opportunity situation. But anyway, my point here, you can learn to sell anything. Anything that you care about, anything that you are passionate about, anything that you feel like you want to jump out of bed and teach, you can teach it, you can sell it, you can market, you can do anything with anything. So it's really important, especially with what we do. So we do something called embodied sales. And what this starts with is you being on an offer, and being on an offer, i.e. being in a business that you actually care about. Why does this matter? You need to feel like you want to sell it. You feel good selling it. You don't feel bad. You don't feel like you're selling something that people don't want and need. You feel like you can sell it with full conviction, full truth, full genuine embodied integrity, trust, all of those things. Because guess what? You're going to sell way more. You're going to enjoy it more. You're going to love the sales process more, which again is part of the point, right? You want longevity and you want it to last. So embodied sales, pick a niche that you love, pick something that someone's selling that you love and try and get on that offer. That's like your dream offer. So then what do? What is a closer? Why does this matter? The closer is the middleman between the customer buying the product and the business. For example, this is the coach and this is you. And the closer happens here. This person's job is to simply qualify whether they are a fit for your program and whether you are a fit for them. That is what this person's there to do. That person's there to see if they can afford it and help them to see if this is aligned with them in whatever way and make sure that it's a fit, so that you can then close the deal and you can then charge them however much the program's worth. That is it. Your job literally is to get on a sales call, get on the phone, get on Zoom, whichever way the company does it, have a conversation with someone. Like sales is the biggest blessing of all time. You can learn so much from a sales conversation with yourself, with people, with whoever, because you're going to be asking them questions, getting deeper, getting to the point, understanding their why, seeing where they want to get to, seeing the leadership, seeing how far they could go if they invested in you, seeing how much their life could change if they just did the thing that they found scary. All of that is sales. But people think that sales is icky and sleazy and ew, and you're going to be like phone bashing and all that. No, you're not going to be doing any of that. You are literally going to be taking in warm leads onto your calendar because these people have already been fed through the marketing, through ads, through social media, of these coaches and on these online businesses, you are the person who's going to close the deals for them. So people already like them. They already trust them. They already know them. And they've just chosen to book in a call with that company. All your job is to make sure it's a fit on both sides and close that deal. They are already sold partially to begin with, most of the time. Okay, so now what do you do as a closer? You have typically 60 minutes, sometimes more, sometimes less, to make a decision. And it's not going to be you making the decision, it's going to be them making the decision on whether it's right, it's wrong, by going through a different process. And I have a whole other video on the whole system of a sales call, how you go through it from top to bottom, etc. And all you need to do now is learn the skill. The distance between where you are now and where you want to get to is 1, learning the skill of sales. So 1, learning the skill. We can teach you all of that. There's loads of videos online. Everything's out there for free. Go and learn it. Then number 2, after this, of course, once you've learned it, you need to get on an offer. How do you get on an offer? That is going to be your biggest question. So for example, all the guys in our space, we actually have companies that come in, we vet the companies, we check that they're good, check that they're actually legit, that they're doing the thing that they say they're doing, they're actually selling the thing they say they're selling, they're getting results, they're a proper business. And then we put our closers onto those offers. So for example, what you can do is there's many, many companies out there, or you can join something like our space or someone else's space, and you can then get placed on a reputable offer like that. So all that happens here is you're going to send the company a Loom video. You're going to send the company an application. You're then going to go into your interview process, and then you start. And that is really it. Technically, that's all that happens. You show up on Loom, you send a video, you tell them this is who I am, this is what I offer, this is what I do. And obviously, this is what we give the guys inside Project Herd. And then you're going to send off the application. So for example, many companies are saying right now, or sales training companies are saying right now, just go and send a bunch of messages on Instagram. Just go and tell everyone that you're a new closer now and you want to get on a job. Those people never get on a job. Let me make this very clear. Those people are not going to get hired. Those people, they know that they're brand new. They probably know what style of training they've had because of the program. That is why we vet the offers entirely. We know the business owners that we're working with, and we will make sure that we get our hands dirty to put the closer with the offer. But you want to show that you have reps. You want to show that you are able to be someone who has closed before. You've actually already closed deals. You have someone who they trust in the middle to get you on that offer. So the easiest thing I would say to do, to be completely transparent, is find someone who can make that time span shorter, make that gap shorter, and pair you with a company that you actually love. Now, once you're on the offer, what happens? You now got to close the deals. So now you've got to close. You've got to put in all the reps. You're going to, again, this is something that we do. Watch your sales calls back. Look through them. Make sure that you're getting feedback. Make sure that you can see the good, the bad, and the ugly. Make sure that you can keep what's good and change what's not, so that when you do another call, you're ready to go again. What a lot of people do now is they put getting on an offer as the end goal, and then they realize, actually, this isn't the only offer I want to get on. I want to get on a better offer. And actually, you also need to keep the job. How do you keep the job? Well, you close more deals. How do you close more deals? By training more. Where do you do your training? With someone like us, or again, on your own. Make sure that you're watching those trainings back from beginning to end. Watch the Zoom calls back, give yourself feedback. What you do next is you have that experience now to be able to say, I've closed X amount for X amount of time. Therefore, I can now go on an offer that is higher. Now, how do you make money? Where does your money come in? You're going to then make 10 to 12% commission on every single deal that you close. So for example, if you are now with a business and you are closing deals for them and their offer is 10K and you're getting 10% commission, you make very, very simply 1K from this offer, from one sales call. And the more you do, the more money you make, the better offers you get on, more money, more expensive, more people trust it, bigger company. Then let's just say you go on to a 100K offer. That is a very unrealistic jump, but obviously you've got to get there. A 100K offer. And then guess what you're making? You're making 10K per deal. So you see how this works, and you get better, you get more experience, you get on a better offer. You get better, you get more experience, you get on a better offer. Same as any other job. So this is a real job. This is a real business for real businesses. This isn't some like sleazy pyramid scheme where you don't know what you're doing. This is going to apply to every single thing that you do. Sales is the biggest form of self-development ever. So if it does feel a bit like, oh God, how the hell am I going to do that? Don't worry, because we will literally teach you everything from beginning to end, from zero closing nothing to closing a lot. For example, we have Trisha who closed 100K in less than 6 from zero. There are many people who have pure evidence that you can do this from nothing. So don't hear it from me, hear it from them. But if there is anything that I can help you with, I will give it all away for free. All you have to do is show up and do the thing and promise me that you're going to do the work. So drop it in the comments below, anything that you want to help with. And yeah, that is what high ticket sales is. And if you want to be a closer, you know where to start.